How are you doing today?
All right. Do you want to horizontal it or the other way?
I really don't know. I'm doing this for the first time today, so
Yeah, I
I
also
don't
know.
know. So
It brings
do
me
you
to my
feel
own.
I'm kind of I'm not like straight like.
Yeah. Do you want to go vertical maybe, or you want to do that way?
I think horizontal looks better for me.
Let's try.
Nice, thank you.
It says my orientation thingy is locked, so let me just change it.
Orientation is locked. Rotate
Oh
device
no,
back.
not locked
Okay.
actually.
My rotation be locked.
Rotate device back.
Sorry, did you hear that?
Yeah, it says something regarding orientation lock.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Probably it's from the setting, you know. I'm
Mm,
going to the setting to see if I can.
yeah, I'll have a look as well. Because in my case, my phone is okay.
Orientation is locked. Rotate device. Rotate device. Probably. Rotate device. But let me see if I can just.
It
Let's see if I
might
can.
be something to do with the channel's monetization. I don't know if somebody
Yeah,
reached.
you know that. Seriously, this is a very young account. I was even surprised that.
Oh, mine is old enough, but it doesn't have that reach.
Why? I actually looked at it. Why?
UK.
Oh, oh my God! Do you know that when I came to this country,
I think it's
actually,
me being lazy as well. Yeah, many different reasons.
no, I don't blame you. When you come to this country, things become so fast, and then
No
the time
sunshine,
becomes
no
very
vitamin
limited.
D. So yeah, plenty of reasons to blame.
You don't need to blame anybody. You blame yourself.
I
Don't blame
have
UK.
first is me, and then other things, of course.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm still trying to place this correctly so that I wouldn't have issues. I'm
Nobody's
actually
watching
using
us.
I'm actually using this thing. What do they call it? It's still writing the same thing. I don't know.
I've
I'm
put it
actually
on my
using ring
laptop,
light.
so that kind of stabilizes it.
If I can do without ring light, then it's fine. I
Ah,
think it's the ring light I'm using.
I
Probably
see. I see.
orientation. Is it from the ring light?
Mm,
Oh, okay. Why not? Let me go to my setting. That's phone setting to unlock. Oh God, that's very simple. Oh my God, the technology has killed us.
did it work? Can you now do that?
Yeah, I just unlocked orientation from
Mine
my.
is locked, but it still gives me that red icon error.
Oh my God. All right. So what will happen is when. So what will happen is I won't bother using this thing again. I'm gonna keep it practical. What about you? Do you mind keeping yours practical? Is it okay?
Do I? Sorry, what?
Is it okay now?
Yeah, I'm all right.
All right. No more. I don't think I'm gonna use this.
The
Um,
other way I'm thinking, if you want the horizontal orientation, if we both go to laptop, I have a laptop with me, but I'm not sure about you if you can go
I
to
have a
laptop.
laptop. I have a
Yeah,
laptop.
yeah, because that I think will make it by default to be on the horizontal side.
Yeah, that's true.
Should we try
But
that?
it's not really necessary. Check it out.
I'm all right. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not necessary. Let's
yeah.
check it out. So I have a lot of write-ups here. I have a lot of write-up. See, registration as a nurse in Malta for Nigerians is a hard nut to crack. So I only opened this YouTube page in order to bridge that gap. Everybody wants to come to the UK. Yes, I understand. Imagine me. I started with Malta and I ended up in UK.
Yeah, so did
Yes,
I.
very seamless and very open opportunity. But at the same time, um, when you check the system here, um, it's not really. I don't think it's not really easy to survive in this country. It's almost, if you're in this country, it's almost as if you're going to bargain with your mental health. You know, give me the money, let me give you mental health.
Yeah.
That's the way it works in this country. Then I see Malta and some of the European country as some other country that is worth exploring. In as much as I'm in Malta now doing my studies, I feel in years to come, if I feel that I want to work in a very calm mindset, I should go back to Malta to do my nursing because it's calmer there. I must say the truth. This place is something else. So before we start, I would just like to introduce myself once again to everyone. I don't know how many persons that is on live, but I have my Telegram where
Zero.
I don't think
Right now it's a zero. I can see it on my screen.
you
We
know
are
me.
so famous.
Seriously, I'm supposed to send the link. I'm supposed to share the link to um
To others. Yeah, I think then some people might
to
join.
others. Indeed, and I have a Telegram group where I have group of nurses that ask me questions about motor registration and all whatnot. I don't even know how to get to them at this point. Um, Let me see if I can do that from my WhatsApp.
Mhm. You can click on
I
these
can't.
three
I can't.
little
They
dots.
can watch. They can watch the video later.
Okay.
That's one good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one good thing about
Yeah. Mhm.
sorry,
There is an
YouTube Live,
option to
unlike
share
TikTok.
anyways from the three little
Sorry.
dots and
Hello, can you hear me?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you said something. Is it really?
I was just mentioning there is an option to share the link to this live telecast from this three little dot that you see on the right hand side of your screen, maybe.
Yeah, it's the truth. I don't have that Telegram in this mobile phone, so even
That is absolutely fine then.
I'm thinking, but it's fine. So so introducing myself.
Hmm.
You've known me for like almost 2 years,
Yeah, yeah.
but today we're talking one on one.
101, first time of
Yeah, yeah. So my name is Jafet Oloma, Nigerian nurse. How many years experience in nursing? Like 5 years.
oh.
Yeah. Um. Uh. I actually met you because of Malta stuff. You understand? Yes.
Hmm.
Then finally I'm in UK. But the only reason why I came to UK was that when I started that registration as a nurse in Malta, it got to the extent where I need to come to the Malta within a, a snap.
Yeah.
And coming from Nigeria
I
to
saw
Malta,
your video regarding that. You were mentioning how they issued you a course to take, and then next thing you had to do is to fly to Malta and take that
oh yeah, that was
reading.
crazy for me.
Yeah.
So when I was doing Malta, I was running a student visa program. Like I was trying to come to the country for studies too, and all things working together, I got admission to come here for the program. So on getting here, I had to move over to Malta to finish the adaptation. But
Mm.
my program is still running in this country, so I'm currently studying and I'm working at the same time, hoping to go back to Malta to at least do the necessary wherever. Okay, so um so you know my name Oloma, Nigerian registered nurse,
Yeah.
and um
Just gonna
can
take some notes. If I have some questions for you, go ahead.
all right, can we know you please?
Oh yes. Are you finished already?
I don't have anything to say.
Sure. Uh, Before I start, I had, I think, two questions to ask you.
Okay.
So you did go to Malta, where you had to do your adaptation course
Yeah.
in that short amount of time that you had. Did you have to apply for a visitor's visa to go there, or there wasn't anything like that for you?
Yeah, when I came to this country, I had to process another visa from UK to Malta, and that was a visitor's visa that
How
lasted
long
just
did it take you usually?
to get a visitor visa from UK here.
Hmm.
Oh, that was just a month. In the next 3 weeks, like roughly a month. It was not more than that.
Not bad.
Yeah, I did it with TUI, TUI. It's a tourist company. TUI. We did it.
TUI is a flight company, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, it's a tourist company here in
I think
UK.
they are a travel agent as well at the
Yeah.
same time. Good. Well, my second question skipped from my mind, but as soon as it comes back, I'll definitely ask you. So, I'm Zishan. I studied in Hungary. I studied from 2016 to 2020, and I graduated in the midst of pandemic when the world was falling apart. I couldn't really pass my IELTS in my first attempt. It took me fifth
Ah,
try.
ah, you told me. You
So
told me.
yeah, it took me a while to get through my IELTS. I was doing some work with a pharmaceutical company in Hungary for like 9 months in their pharmacovigilance department. I don't really speak Hungarian very much. I can speak intermediate because my whole course was taught in English. Um, okay, I got my second question here, so I'll ask you later.
All right.
So I learned in English, yet I couldn't pass my IELTS in my first try because my reading and writing isn't that great. I can speak well. I think I can listen fine, but those two components has have always thrown me off. Not significantly, I would say, but it was always 0.5, and that has been missing always. Or maybe I couldn't wake up early or missed my train and stuff. So that was my IELTS. I came here in finally. I got my PIN in January of 2022, which was
Okay.
almost after 1.5 year because I graduated in June of 2020. Uh,
That dog is crazy.
that's fine.
Yes.
Here. Okay, he's gone probably. Yeah.
Okay.
So from June 2020 to January 2021, I was just doing some work with the company in Hungary and just traveling a little bit. And of course, I was
Okay.
uh,
Let
thinking,
me.
if I can't pass my IELTS, what's my next best step to do? I think your screen froze. Okay. Yeah, it seems to have come back now. Something is happening with the internet. Can you hear me okay? Right. Uh, okay,
The
you're
network.
back.
The network.
You're
Bad.
hearing me. Okay. So, oh, good.
I
So
can.
yeah, I started my Malta process when I almost gave up on my IELTS, thinking I might not even achieve that. So I looked into Malta as a backup. Then I took my. I sent them all the registration documents. Usually they I think I had quite a bit of straightforward pathway. I didn't have to do any adaptation course since my Hungarian degree was EU recognized. But one disadvantage I had was not being an EU citizen. In that
Okay.
case, they charged me 200 euros instead of 13 euros that they would have charged if I was an EU citizen. So I didn't think it was a great disadvantage, um, just paying the money and getting the registration without traveling, without any, booking any hotels or going for an adaptation program. So that really, really helped. Um, I got my certificate of Maltese registration. It said temporary registration certificate, which was valid for 2 years. Um, and then on the top of it, of course, I passed my IELTS, and I thought, there is the advantage versus disadvantage. And now that brings me to my second question. regarding you mentioning should we maybe move back to Malta? Why would you think that? I mean, UK is really one of those, um, countries where every healthcare professional, or most, I would say, would like to come. So that was just my question. What brings you to Malta? And I mean, looking at the opportunity, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, that's the truth. Like I said before, everybody wants to come to the UK because UK looks the opportunity, like they open the platform
Yeah.
for people to come in. Do you
Mhm.
understand? It's very seamless, and at the same time, the pay, you can't compare pounds to euro. Check even worldwide, you can't compare it. When you convert euro back home,
Yeah.
you know what. And when you convert pounds back to home, you know what it is. Yes, I understand that, but at the same time, the difference between um working as a nurse in Malta and UK is not much to
Mhm.
in to bargain with your mental health. You know, like I said, yeah, like I said, we all that are here, we are just trading our mental health with
Yeah.
they don't when you hear people say who they are die, or maybe you're very comfortable wherever you're working or you can't really get it.
I won't say
So
but I think
so
I
I feel that the difference between
hear
working as a nurse,
you slowly.
the difference between working as a nurse in Malta and working as a nurse in UK cannot cannot be used to bargain, like cannot be used to purchase the mental health aspect of a being, a human being that you can steal away. So I feel like normal as I am now, I'm married, I don't have children to think about, I don't have anything to think about. I feel it's okay to be here. I can even do extra shifts and anything. But I feel as time goes on, where I have my family and I really want to settle without um lots of hassle.
Yeah.
Instead of going back home, I'm definitely going to Malta. Yeah, yes, that's just it for me. And apart from that, is there any other? Probably I'm gonna give you some of the reasons too why I feel. And another thing I must say, um, I'm part of the people that passing IELTS for the first time was not. Do you understand?
Oh,
So I can remember that my in fact what motivated me into pushing into IELTS was I took IELTS the first time, then I took the second time. It didn't give me a band score that is up to UK nursing. Do you understand?
yeah.
Then,
And they were
um
expecting quite a bit of scores by then. They've changed it now, but in
yeah, but there's no difference with there's no it doesn't it is it's still the same thing. You understand? So there are a lot of them out there in Nigeria that has attempted more than 9 times. Do you
wow.
understand?
And I
Yes.
alone.
Yeah. First at fifth. There are people that they've taken this IELTS 9 times, yet they didn't make it. Okay, so this YouTube page is a platform to tell them you can't die looking for. Yeah, you want to travel abroad. There's some other abroad too. Malta is there too. Do you understand? So it's not that I'm telling them to give up on this platform with IELTS.
Mm.
Okay, I'm telling them that there's also a big fish out there. You
Yeah.
can register as a nurse in
Travel
Malta and
here.
still, yeah, and still live your life. Yes, and the good thing with it is when you start off from Malta, everybody cannot start off from the same place. When you start off from Malta, you can easily go worldwide anywhere you want to go. You understand? So that's another reason. That IELTS is another reason. Then not being you not not feeling that the difference between registering as a nurse in Malta and registering as a nurse, the difference there can never be used to bargain, or it's not what the mental health aspect of it being. So that's just it.
True. It is true. I was also wondering if practice in Malta gives the exception to take IELTS. if someone really wants to go somewhere in the world again.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah.
Because I saw it back in those days, it was there. I'm not sure if they keep changing everything. So I was just wondering if
They've
Malta.
made a lot of changes now.
Yeah, they make changes on red list countries. They make changes on who they want to let in, who they want to
Let's out.
talk, and all that. So I was just wondering if they've changed the list or it's stable.
No, they've changed it. It affected me during my time too. I kept waiting. Changed it.
Uh,
Yeah.
so it is there. Malta 1 year practice can get you to the UK without
With,
I.
with
That,
the eye.
that's
Yeah. I think is a very good point to start for people that like me personally. I don't know, but I can give up very easily,
mm,
and most times I'll think, oh, it's not for me. Yeah. In one hand, it's not good. In another hand, it might be good because nobody knows tomorrow.
true.
That particular thing that you've been pushing and you want to get that you're not getting might not really be for you. Even at the end of the day, you finally get it. You will say it's not for you. You just wasted the time getting it. You
Yeah.
understand? So that's it. So you stayed in Malta. What's life in Malta? How does it look like?
I have never visited Malta. I have only been in Hungary. I've
Oh,
been in Spain. My Maltese license registration was just from overseas when I was based in Hungary, and
okay.
I basically sent all the documents electronically in a Word file, attached all my transcript, my CV, my passport, my police clearance certificates, the EU recognition kind of certificate that was issued by Hungarian nursing authority.
And the verification, yeah.
Yeah, and then I sent that money transfer via bank. And yeah, Elizabeth Bonnet is her. She's a famous name in CNM. She was the one who was in touch with me as well.
Oh, Elizabeth Bonnet, right?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that name.
I
Uh,
I've seen her.
you have okay. Don't know how.
Ah, a good person, but at the same time, she she's just disciplined, very
Just
disciplined.
follow all these policies and
Yeah,
standards.
yeah, she just embodiment of policy all over. you know.
I know. And I've heard this system has, I've seen actually online now, the whole system is now digital. It's not
Yeah,
a Word file that needs to be, put in. And there were so many complications with how many MBs of file you can attach. I'm sure there are those problems still there, but it looks nicer than before. So yeah, happy
and
for.
I must say, at least I don't know, but it's really nice. So I would have loved to ask you about nursing in Malta, but I just noticed. No, it's not that I just noticed. I know that you didn't practice for one day in Malta. Yeah. So I think that would be basically all. So no, can you help me? I think at this point I will need you to help me with the documentation. Can you help me with the documentation required to register as a nurse in
Documentation for Malta.
yeah. Can you still remember? I
I think I can try. The first was the passport, of course, then police clearance certificates of the past
okay.
years with any countries that you lived for more than 12 months or maybe 5 years. I can't remember. So in my case, I've been in, of course, Pakistan, UAE. I lived in there for like 2 years. It wasn't nursing job. It was ECG technician that I was trying to get my license, and at the end I couldn't get it. So I worked in a lower paying waiter's job. So
Mm,
story. But because I lived there for
yeah.
24 months, I had to get that clearance certificate. And of course, Hungary, which I was living in from the past 4.5 years when I was applying to Malta. So, yeah, I think I did these three passport, all these police clearance certificates where I lived in the past, 200. euros, around 198. I think that was the money. Um, then my CV, my degree, my copy of transcripts in EU. They even you yourself at the end of your degree here in Britain, they'll give you a diploma supplement that is basically the transcript, but it has a little bit more description. It's like a little file. So that one I had to send, and then they asked me course description, which was 120 pages document. This was the most difficult file.
Yeah, yeah, it will
But I
be.
had to, I think, divide it into like four or five multiple different parts. I cut it with the PDF um, software, and I was finally,
What about your transcripts? Your transcript should be able to,
yeah,
if you're
transcript should be able to give them what I
tran-
covered,
yeah,
but not
in a
look in.
script,
Yeah.
the courses
Yeah,
described.
for example, the body systems or how much in details we covered our pathophysiology or physiology or I don't know, internal medicine or intensive care nursing, all that
That
is to be broken down for them to
yeah,
see.
I
Uh,
think nurses in Nigeria are lucky to have those things in their transcript, so
okay,
they don't.
that is a good package then. Yeah, so I had a different file issued by the school, which was then sent. It took me about 3 months, almost 3 months, from the beginning of my application to
It
finally
took
get.
me. It took me 7 to 8 months for
Uh,
for them to get back to me. Then when they finally got back to me, they they wanted me to come in the next 1 month. How is that possible? You go
oh,
back with a decision letter. Yes, you can come over, and you want me to come in 1 month.
yeah,
No. And then I could understand my registration was sorry during my time I was just in between the new era and the old era, so they were trying to rush things.
they were, huh,
Exactly. So that was actually what happened. So that brings us to what the Council of Nursing and Midwifery in Malta entails at the moment.
okay. How about so you'll finish your degree at some point, and would you stay back here, or uh, do you plan to maybe go back to Malta and continue practicing?
No, I have to definitely go back to Malta to practice for 1 year. Then I'll come back, yeah, for the money.
And how does that benefit? Does it make your temporary? So currently you have a temporary license. Is that a correct understanding?
Is it in Malta?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, in Malta, I have it temporarily. In fact, I'm supposed to be. For me to conclude my adaptation, I'm supposed to I'm supposed to do a 1 year program.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do a 1 year program before I can get the main license. I don't know. The way things are going now, I don't think it's going to be 1 year. I think it might be 2 years
Wow.
because yeah, I think it might be 2 years. Yes.
Think something. So you came to the UK and then traveled to Malta. Haven't you finished your adaptation, or you just started and
So
then?
immediately I got the paper, like immediately I passed the adaptation course. I did that for 6 months. Immediately
Okay.
I passed the adaptation course and I was fully registered. Not like fully because they needed that 1 year to make sure that oh you're done. Immediately I passed that adaptation, I quickly came back. That was
Hmm. So now
this.
you need to go back to do a year of supervised experience. Is
Ex-
it
exactly. That's what it's called.
that
Supervisors for one.
you can keep your registration for life? Is
Yes,
it
for life. Yeah,
right?
that yes. When I'm done 1 year,
And
then
what's the time period of window that you have to start like that kind of year now, or you can go back anytime and do that?
once I'm done with my program in this country, which might be I think January next year.
Yeah.
Yes, once I'm done, I should go back to
You're
Malta.
Very license certificate has a little validity on it, probably. Oh,
Yeah,
myself, because it was issued for 2 years as well.
exactly.
Yeah, I was supposed to start, but I was like,
No,
eh,
it's
if
I
I could,
uh,
yeah, I would like to keep it, but
the truth is opportunity came
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
If you didn't have the opportunity of coming over to the UK,
I
you would
know.
definitely be in Malta now.
I
Doing
started in. I had multiple offers. I think I had one from Birmingham, another one from another hospital. I forgot now. Maybe Bristol. Yeah, and I had one from London in Chelsea. You might
that's
have heard. So yeah, I immediately chose London. I was like, oh, I need to be rich. I will buy a car. I'll have a good all that. So I came to Chelsea. Chelsea is the most uh, expensive area
yeah.
whole of the UK. That makes it already expensive in all of the Europe because UK is significantly expensive. If we exclude Switzerland and some pockets of the Europe, which
Ireland.
expensive like Luxembourg and all that. So yeah, Chelsea was significantly expensive, and the salary I was getting wasn't at that level. They were of course adding that London wage in, but your take home after taxes and all
That,
wasn't
that's just
it.
accept the truth.
And I was in a little room, sharing every other amenity of the flat, and didn't have any living room. And then I was paying £875, which would usually bring it after the cleaning costs around 900 because all the utilities were at least included. So your paycheck is usually, most of us know, in London, it's about 2,000 when you take home.
Rent
After
is
it's gone in the rent, then what are you really left with?
yeah, I see.
Yeah, now it's not the case with the rent, at least that I'm now living in a big room. This is not the room, it's just the library I came to, and I thought I'll just take this call here as well. But yeah, I live in a big ensuite room. I have a bed and sofa and chair, table, lamp, and all these good things, and my personal bathroom as well. So
Ah,
that,
how
yeah,
much? How much?
560, including all the costs of living. Yeah.
Where? London.
In Newcastle, I've moved from London, so I've changed my trust. Um, One thing I would mention here for others as well, so it's on the record. Um, when I was coming here in the UK, it wasn't really clear if employers needed experience. So most employers in the NHS were requesting about 6 months. Did I cut off here? So yeah, most employers were requesting about 6 months experience in acute care wards. I didn't have any because I was a recent graduate. I could go into Hungarian hospitals and work, but that would mean I might even lose my license because of how my communication would be in Hungarian. And if there was
Yeah.
someone crashing and I couldn't understand the orders, then, it's like you
Yeah.
killed it, you didn't know what you were doing. So I didn't want it to be part of that kind of blame game when I could not understand half of the Hungarian that would just fly away. It's very hard language, so I chose not to work there and not get that experience. For
Okay.
me, of since I didn't want it to go into care home, my area of interest was always critical care. I really wanted to be in the intensive care unit and learn all those skills. Um, so when I was applying to all these jobs from ICU jobs, I immediately understood that they wanted a 6 months experience in the UK in acute care areas. So level one patients in the wards, any kind of ward, could be endoscopic cardiology, gerontology, Yeah, where you're doing some IVs, kind of acute care under the hospital's roof. I said,
Yeah.
I am not even in the UK. I don't have that experience, so ICU is out of the game.
Even if you're out of this UK, you never had that experience.
I had no. So then I thought, okay, to move to that, intensive care job, what I need to do is to have 6 months experience in the wards. So I started looking for the wards, and now for the wards, they were looking 6 months of experience, any nursing experience abroad. Now I had nothing either. So um, I then reached out to some of the NHS trusts and told them, look, I have gotten my IELTS, I have my CBT. Would you just sponsor me for the OSCE, please? And they said, no, because you have no experience. We would need experience, at least of 6 months. What I've heard now, fresh graduates can also arrive. Uh, but I don't know how true it is, how much they are sponsoring and all. But it was true that they just. Hmm?
Possible. Just everything is usually possible. Just believe it.
I know.
Just believe it. It's what it's possible.
Now it is like, yeah, going there, which is good. By my time I had to find a way to get into the hospital setting. um, Care homes were offering the job without any experience, but I would be stuck for at least 2 years or 3 years, whatever the contract says. And
Mm.
then coming out of that kind of contract is quite hard. um, and then I reached out to some trusts and really asked some advice. What would you suggest me? They said, if you just do your PIN on your own, which I did finally. I took my visitor's visa, came to UK, did my OSCE training in London for a couple of days, traveled to Northampton where I took my OSCE first time, failed it because I gave a paracetamol which I wasn't supposed to give because of the 4 hour window. I didn't even think about it, and I gave it, and they said, "Oh, you failed finally." I'm like, God. Then traveled back, rented for another month because my London
Oh
stay was only for a month, and
God.
could
Funny thing.
find
You're not.
had to delay my flight and pay some extra money to the company who was booking it so that they could extend it and I could fly back to Hungary later. So, yeah, for another month, I lived in London. I didn't need a month because I knew what I'm supposed to do next. I knew
Mm.
what error I made. And even if they could ask me after 5 minutes, I would have passed. But the problem with OSCE is it is highly, highly saturated with bookings, and there were only three exam centers in the whole UK. One was in Northampton, another I think was somewhere up in England, maybe I forgot now, Oxford, sorry, and then the last one was in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
I just could find one slot in Northampton after a month, so I stayed back, took my OSCE, passed it, came back to Hungary, got my PIN, applied to the employer, and yeah, got my job.
That's that's beauty. So you're not a prisoner. You're so free. You're free like a bird. That's the
Yeah, I think I spent around 3,000 to 4,000 pounds on all this.
I
It
wanted to
cost
where
me.
you get it from. Imagine I wanted to, but that's not what I'm here for.
Uh, so then
It's
I
quite
worked there for more than 6 months, gotten my IV competencies on whatever they say, and of course it was a new thing to me, becoming a nurse from a different country and practicing first time ever in a very different country, and it was very, very challenging. But after 9 months I was able to get an intensive care nursing job, and I excluded London out of my research when I was applying for the jobs because
wow.
I thought I am not going to thrive here. Not that I'm thriving here, at least I'm surviving well here. So, yeah, I came to Newcastle, as I mentioned. It's still in England. It is one of the highly ranked, outstanding trusts in the
Mm,
whole
mm.
country. I wonder how they rank Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scottish hospitals because CQC does not rank them. So that's really weird.
It's a different thing altogether. I think when it comes to that aspect, they they do their thing. They have that altogether. It's not CQC that covers them.
Well, yeah, they should have a JCI accreditation here. Do you know anything about JCI? I have recently let the hospital leadership. I'm just
Are you
pushing. Yeah, I'm telling them kindly get the accreditation from Joint Commission International because this is really beneficial. There is no hospital in the UK who has JCI accreditation. There's just
now we have two persons? I know you did that.
I know. I'm not the best, but I can kind of tell them like because if somebody has planned to move abroad, especially to the United States, they have these when they say, for example, I was looking into a nursing specialty called CCRN or critical care registered nurse specialization.
You're really into that. You just want that.
So what I was checking is their eligibility criteria. They say you should have 2 years intensive care practice in
Hmm.
ICU setting in United States, or if you have been working abroad, they will consider you, but your hospital should be accredited under JCI or Magnet, which is from another ANC body. So yeah,
I'm gonna
just suggesting them if they would.
JCI stuffs. I'm gonna look into this JCI.
JCI and magnetic gratitude would be
Yeah,
really good to learn about and push your hospital to do the same as well.
yeah. I seriously. Everybody wants now. You know what happens when you come to the UK? You want to go to America. You understand?
It was even before, but
Endless,
my
endless for me now.
extending, I would like to pass my NCLEX, which I failed twice already. I haven't, I think, mentioned it on my YouTube yet.
I think, but you told me. I think you mentioned it somewhere, but I
I,
know that.
yes, I have probably. I'm
Ah,
not.
you. It was the person. It was like
Yeah,
discussion. You
I've
said,
been making all those vlogs, and I think part of me just holding myself a bit more back is
let me tell you something. Let me tell you why you failed NCLES. Um, NCLES is more practical than reading than theoretical. So I'm very sure with the experience you've gotten so far, if you give it a shot.
I'm in.
All right. So
You.
I'm gonna run through what Council of Malta and sorry, Council of Nurses and Midwife Malta needs for registration for nurses in the non-EU countries. So currently there's something they call nursing bridging program. I don't know if you know about that. Yes, the nursing bridging program. And Malta, you know how Malta is. Malta have a lot of schools.
Yeah.
Because it's funny that in the whole of Malta, one university, University of Malta, you can have some other things. Yeah, you can have some other schools or colleges, but when it comes to their main university, University of Malta. So Malta requires non-EU nurses to to get their to get a certificate this institution, and there are three institutions offers this program, non-bridging course. One of the institution is the IDEA, that's just a another one is MCAST, and the other one is the University of Malta. Yes, the cost for is between 5,000 to 6,000 euros for the of them. Then the duration is 1 year. Yes, seriously, when people come to my YouTube page and ask me how long it's going to take for them to, especially Nigerians, to take this course because they want to just go to Malta and start doing something immediately, I just look at them because I feel it should be more beneficial to you to have a long-term visa than to have a short-term visa. At least you apply for 2 years,
Yeah.
and yeah, to be able to balance up things. So I think that's a very, very wrong. Everybody should just try and buy patient from somewhere. I don't know, but but it shouldn't. I think that it shouldn't be consigned on the duration it costs for you to go get this course. Um, then but is the minimum is 1 year. But if they can do 2 years, there's no problem. If you want to leave the country, like Nigeria, if you
Mm.
want to give 10 years, it's okay. So unfortunately, University of Malta is no longer accepting application.
Okay.
Yes,
They give
but
any.
IDEA Malta, they are more private, and MCAST, they are still accepting application. The link for all these institution, University of Malta, MCAS, and IDEA, is in the description of the video already. Should
Hmm.
in case anybody wants to, yeah, should in case anybody wants more information or wants to start application. Yes, and definitely there will be more questions, So
Was
so
looking
another link, sorry.
so I was looking at one of your videos regarding adaptation course offered by CNM. Is this a thing, and does it cost anything? If it doesn't, then what's the eligibility criteria? I was just wondering.
Adaptation course is the one I did. It's no longer in progress. Like I told you that I was in between the new and the old system.
So they were offering by themselves
By
before.
themselves, they were offering this program by themselves.
Now
You know,
they have
now like
given it to the
with
other
funds.
charges.
So exactly. So I noticed
They were
that
offering it by themselves. Was it cheap? Was it the
it
same
was
price, or was it
it
free?
was very cheap. It was cheaper. That's the problem. I paid was it 200 and something euros.
Oh,
For my registration I paid 102 euros
yeah.
for that the paperwork
So you paid
before
another 200 or maybe 400.
400
I,
400 sorry.
I remember something like that as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so
Altogether, your application might have costed you 600.
exactly everything should be 600.
How significantly they are, taking money
So
more.
I don't want to dwell on the old system again because it's no longer obtainable.
Uh,
So that's it. And old.
no,
And
it's
trust
wrong.
me, I started this YouTube when I started that because I want to tell people this is it, this is the step, this is it, and this is that, this is where I am. But at some point, they made the changes, so I had to drop that and start getting more knowledge on how the new one worked. Even most of my friends that get to me or probably get back to me or ask me how they can go about it, they are all of them are usually surprised. They're wondering, oh, we are seeing something different. Where did you get up to 5,000 euros?
Absolutely. It's so much
It's
money.
still, it's so much money. Yeah.
I haven't saved up 5,000. I'm living in.
Don't say that. But seriously, it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot. But you can't believe that some people have this money, but still yet they can't go to the UK. They can't go to Malta. They're
Well,
just
until it's, I mean, yeah, people are rich as well, but I wonder why they want to be a nurse. And that's coming from the heart, like really, really much. Then
like I told you that I'm drifting away from nursing. You know that. I think I told you that. Yeah.
drifting away from doing, sorry, what?
Nursing. Like
Okay, okay. Because
yeah.
you're rich.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm fed up. I'm just fed up. It's very boring.
Nurse. So, what experience, if I may ask, have you done back home in Nigeria?
Sorry.
What wards or what areas of nursing?
I've done all apart from critical care, but
Hmm,
I've done high dependency. I've
nice.
done youth. Then I've done elderly. That's the popular one they called gen gerontology. I don't know what kind.
And the
Yeah,
second one was which one? You said HDU, gerontology, and
and acute. That's
acute.
gen
So,
acute.
like medical, surgical, or cardiology.
Medical surgical.
Medical, surgical. Hmm. I know, the same thing for me. It was, I lost my faith in nursing, not only because I was interested in critical care, because
Mhm.
that idea could have gone out of my brain if I really liked being in cardiology and maybe being in acute care, being in London. It was mostly my push, my force of leaving my trust even before I finished my 1 year was
Yeah.
because of high demand and high pressure of working, and you don't have enough staff to turn patients, you don't have enough staff to check your lines and flush your cannulas and check if dressing is coming off. Can you change it today? Can you give your patient a little bath? Can you help them with something? And constant bells are ringing, and I hated that environment of overly um, stimulated everything, more crowds, more people to look at. You get given maybe 6 to 8 patients. Some people thrive in this kind of environment. I personally, I am a bit of a perfectionist. I like to my patient, I want to know it and then address issues step by step. um,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
want to be in an organized system, which I am so blessed to be in now, because I get to look at one patient at a time. If it's a level three, which means if they've got an ETT tube or tracheostomy tube and they are being ventilated on a ventilator, so that makes them a level three. They can have multiple organ failures or they may have one organ failure. But then on the HDU side, we have both departments as well. They are kind of one unit. On one hand, you have all the HDU patients, and on the other hand, you have all the ITU patients. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they just call it ITU usually. It's just the same thing as ICU. But yeah, on the HDU side, whenever I am sent there or deployed there, I get 2 patients, but they are still so much.
It's still better than 7 patients.
Yeah, and then I worked with an amazing team as well. Teamwork wasn't really great in London either because everybody wanted to do their thing and nobody cared if you are being left behind. They say, "Oh, that's your job," and they will tell you on your face. And it's just not nice when you are trying to help people, but you're not helping your own people either. You have to be in a mindset that teamwork makes a great day, and it
Yeah.
can really break when you have these kind of small little dialogues or disagreements. So yeah, that was another reason I had to kind of come to a term that I can end my agreement. And as I was mentioning, I did my license on my own. So part of contract that I was given was not completely overseas. Yes, they sponsored my COS. They brought me into the country with the visa and all, but there wasn't any line that bound me and said, "Oh, if you leave before a month or after 2 months,
Oh, that's
have to
the
pay much money." I had nothing because they didn't pay for anything to me. They only paid COS, which they legally have to because no employer can charge you for a COS. I paid
okay.
for my own visa. I paid for my own flights. I paid for my own accommodation. I was like a local hire, but was being brought in from outside. So it was a very different kind of contract. So I had that empowerment to make a decision sooner rather than waiting and suffering longer and ended up hating nursing maybe at some point and maybe didn't want it to do anything with nursing, which
Mm.
some people I understand why they have that. And yeah, personally I could have been in that situation. But yeah, nursing is also very demanding. um, I I can think of other careers as well, maybe at some point. Why bioinformatics? I remember you mentioned regarding MSc in bioinformatics you were doing. So why did you come to this?
No, I can't do that in this video. No, I'm telling you
We
because
can keep that for the next
I can't do
time.
that in this video.
It's okay.
Probably we'll have to talk about that later. so um so I've said things about the three institutions that offers this nursing bridging course.
Mhm.
Okay. So the fact that I didn't do the same thing, it makes it very difficult for me to explain to other people that are asking me questions. At what point will I now register with the body, that's the Council of Nursing, that's nursing in Malta. So I reached out to Elizabeth once again, asked her this new process, how, at what point. So immediately you get an acceptance letter from any either of this institution. Once you get the acceptance letter, you can quickly start your registration using the link.
Okay.
It's still, yeah, it's in the description button too. Yeah, you use the link and register, but you need to be sure that you've gotten acceptance letter first before you can, because the link take you to the point where you have to pay the same money we paid, 200 euros. Yeah,
Mm.
because you have to pay the same money. Yeah, it's so. Um, in the link, you are supposed to upload the document which you earlier helped us to the required document, the MQR for Nigerians. You need MQR statement.
MCRC as well, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and the level should be up to level 5. Yeah, they should be able to grade you, and your qualification in your country should be comparable to level 5 in Malta. Then you need your
Yes,
international,
IELTS as well. So yes, of course
you
we.
need your IELTS.
Yeah.
Then one other thing you really need is a reference from, probably a 1 year reference from, I don't know about you, but you need a 1 year reference.
Needed, but maybe it's updated now, and it's probably needed now. But I don't remember sending them a reference. Or
No,
I forgot now. I might have.
during my time, I equally submitted the reference from a hospital that I worked, telling them that for the past 1 month I've been practicing. Okay, so
Yeah.
that this is the requirement. Sorry, these are the documents when you enter the portal. This is just the requirement. But for some of these institutions, like IDEA Malta, MCAST, and University of Malta, they have something like an application fee is required, and the application fee costs between 100 to 150 euros.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to make an application fee, just like you entering any institution. You need to make an application fee. Yeah, this application fee doesn't have anything to do with you registering as a nurse. It's actually a lot of money, but this video is just to help people that have the money, and the only thing they don't know is they don't have is the knowledge on how to go about it. Okay, because seriously, if I were to be seated and listening to this, if I were to be the one to look at this YouTube video, I don't think from where I come from I can be able to push start paying 5,000 and all whatnot. But for those of you that are capable of doing the financial aspect,
To the end of an hour, and I want to just quickly mention something.
all right.
When I was looking for the jobs in Malta, it there wasn't many options to choose from. Especially there is a platform, I forgot the name for it. It's only for EU citizens, and I just wasn't sure if it was easy or not, because I didn't really give a really good try to it. How has your experience been, if you have ever tried job hunting in Malta?
Oh,
As
there's a website called gov.mt.
okay,
If you know about that, there's a website called gov.mt. When
mm,
you enter that website, um, well, you need to be qualified first. Okay, when you enter the website, you will see criterias. You will see lot of sorry. You first go to the field that you feel you need to go to, like probably health, agriculture. Is a government website for
I
them.
think I did come across that website, and what surprised me, I understand it's a very small country, so
Mm.
perhaps it has to do with that number of population. But nursing jobs were like four, two, or three.
Yeah, it's seriously it's not much when it comes to that their government wherever, but at the same time there are lots of private parastatals in Malta. That in fact, before, when I was trying to move to Malta, one of the things I was doing, because when I noticed that I need to be in this country and be able to do most things, I start applying. Which I can even show you. I have lots of job offer that I got even from Nigeria. Yeah, I got lots of job offer. In fact, I
Get
got
them directly, or did you go via some sort of agency that was helping you through it, or
that was directly,
directly? Good.
like directly. I don't even know how it happened,
Wow.
but that was direct. Seriously, I can't even remember, but I knew that. Oh, the that was directly. I don't know if you know healthmarks.mt, healthmark.mt. They are also into that. I
Okay.
got offer from them, health marks. I can't remember, but I knew that I told like I really searched for work. Yeah, health marks. They invited me for an interview. Then I got a caring job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, health mark.
What's the salary offers like? Because I've never seen an offer letter from Malta, so I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah, actually I think health mark, it was not more than 10.15 for the caring job. Then
10 per hour, did you mean, or
10, 15 to 11 euros per hour.
hour? Okay.
Yeah. Then annually is also 25
Do
to
they bind you for a couple of years or
30 euros.
highest?
Tw- Highest is 10.
And all those contracts that you've gotten and had a little look at on your offer letters, do they usually bind you for a couple of years with that employer or not really?
No, they don't do that. It's not like UK. No, they don't do that.
Good, good.
You can leave anytime. But there is this particular one I got, a caring wherever.
Yeah.
I don't even know because I went to even Facebook when I was looking for job in Malta. I there are some platform where people come and say they needed nanny, they needed carer for their mom and all whatnot. So when I was doing my adaptation course and I needed some money, so I volunteered. His name is Fibrix. I volunteered. It's not like I volunteered. I went for it.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually wanted to tie me down for 1 year. It's a 1 year contract to be paying me. I think it was £10. To be paying me £10. That's the.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm gonna go through something. I want to check.
No, no, it's fine.
This is actually looking good. Like I forwarded all my documents to. Anyways, this is an email confirmation of. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's gonna be definitely funny. Yeah. So he was the only one that wanted to tie me down because it's more like a personal kind of stuff. Yeah, he was the only one. Then I got a job from Health Max. I
Mm.
got a lot of job. You just
And
need to
the thing
just
about Malta, personally, that I really like and I dislike about UK that it doesn't exist here is what I mentioned earlier is the JCI accreditation.
yeah.
Tier hospitals, not all, but some of them are on the JCI accreditation list, which means this hospital has to be the best and
Okay.
follow all these international standards, look after their people,
Okay.
follow all these human resource, HR kind of policies, and they have to develop on their staff well-being and trainings and keep them up to date. And retention is really, really good for those hospitals who are accredited by JCI. So if any of your viewers or mine live in any of the, or they may be trying to move, check on the JCI accreditation and search for the organization and
Mm,
look all these countries that have JCI accredited hospitals. Go to any of them. You can't go wrong with that. Ireland has, literally our neighbor has a couple of them. Dubai is just filled with them. So UAE has the highest list of JCI accreditations. We have
that
Middle
I'm
East.
glad to know. I'm really glad to know.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah, absolutely. So this is the gold standard. It's a literally gold seal on their websites. Uh,
Mm,
so yeah, anyone who wants to move to Europe, Ireland is a really good country to. Ireland, one thing I really was looking into is recently, if someone wants to belong to both things, like have the access and right and retire, rights to retire, retire to study, rights to study, and all that in the UK and all over the Europe. It's
mm,
the only country that gives you that because Ireland has common travel um, area agreement with the UK. So all the jobs that come on the NHS or any kind of things, they ask you for the visas. there will be an option to choose from I am an Irish citizen, because they have the rights to work here. So if you become naturalized citizen in Ireland instead of the UK, you'll have best of both worlds. You'll have access to UK's economy, everything. You can take pension, you can come here, live more than 90 days or for your whole life, and become and get all these NHS treatments if you like. If you're not getting quick appointments in your own country, you have to be a citizen of Ireland or UK. This is why the common travel area agreement exists.
Uh,
And then Ireland at top of it, because it belongs to European Union, of
oh,
all of the whole Europe area, to be
mm,
at your footstep, you can apply for European health insurance card and travel to any of the EU countries. If you're waiting for, let's say, an operation that just isn't coming in your own country for like 3 years, you can travel to Hungary and get it sorted and come back without paying anything. So that's, I think, really something I am.
don't tell me,
If
don't tell
I
me,
change it now,
don't want to move to Ireland now.
because I am slowly, moving to the of course, naturalization is in process since I came here, and it's already been. I'm touching soon, maybe about 2 years. But if I could change anything, would be to go to Ireland instead of the UK, because it's best
Wow,
of both worlds.
I've
Malta is good as well. You get the citizenship, you have the benefit of all Europe, but not UK, because you don't have CTA agreement in there, or Common Travel Area Agreement.
oh,
So if you want the best of both worlds, go to Ireland, get the CTA, get the EU membership, and boom.
that's good. That's good. That's good.
It has become this way after Brexit. It was not really a really unique country before Brexit, because all the EU citizens were equal. But now, when you go to an airport, if you are British, you have to go to another line. You can't access EU lanes anymore because you don't have European Union passport. So you have to go to all other passports, and it's so discriminatory holding a Pakistani passport, and
When
yet
I when I, when
you're holding a British passport, and I cannot change my lane. What the heck?
when when I finally make a decision on where to be,
Yeah,
I'm I will definitely come and consult you for you to tell me.
I think
Seriously,
I have a lot of information on it. I keep
from
it and just regret. That's what I do.
where did you get all this information from?
I
I,
am
I think you enjoy traveling.
naturally, I'm a curious person, so I just dig into all these information, and that's just my niche. I love researching on getting second citizenship and maybe triple
Yeah,
citizenship.
they have everything to
Love
all
this
your
topic.
research in
I like
traveling.
traveling, and I'm also, uh, if I could tell our viewers here quickly, until the end of this year, so 2023, if you are registered in UK, um, US, Canada, Ireland, Singapore, so these five countries, there could be more, but I have this on the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
If you can consider applying, so if you want to go to Australia at the moment and practice as a nurse, you need to pass maybe three exams, which is uh, like a CBT exam that you have to do here anywhere in the world in a Pearson VUE exam. Then you do a practical exam, OSCE, which costs thousands of dollars, $4,000 in Australia.
That's a lot.
You need to pass NCLEX RN exam for Australian registration. Now, the quick shortcut is just like CTA here between Ireland and UK, they have a special agreement as well. It's called TTA,
With
Trans
which
Tasmanian.
country?
Hmm?
With which country?
New
With
Zealand,
the
Australia, both of them. So they have that Trans Tasmanian Agreement, or TTA. I think
okay.
your audience is going to love this information today. So New Zealand currently does not take exams from all these five nations registered nurses. You have to just apply online and get your registration. Once you are registered, within this year, because they're going to change something next year. They're going to ask, New Zealand is going to ask exams just like Australia. They're going to make this process a little bit difficult. So maybe not very hard as Australia, but they will have some sort of adaptation course and theoretical exam
Mhm.
coming in, to be introduced shortly.
Yeah.
So it's the golden time for the RNs who are registered in all these 5 countries, as I mentioned, to apply to New Zealand. Once they get registered, they can decide whenever they want to endorse their license to Australia. It costs a little bit money, but without any exams, because once you are registered in any of these nations, either Australia or New Zealand, they have this agreement, mutual agreement. You do not need to take any exams to transfer your license in between. So that's really incredible. So you can bypass all these Australian big thick exams and save yourself quite a bit of money and stress and time. It's a lot of bureaucracy if it when it comes to taking nursing licensing exams. So yeah, if someone is watching us from, and they are in the similar shoe, they should, I think, try that. And I'm already in the process. So that
Seriously.
just mentioned quickly, it doesn't
Any
mean to just
anytime if
there.
they ask question about them, if they ask question about this aspect, I'm gonna refer them to you because I can't answer. I
I'm
don't
happy to let them know. I don't
I've,
judge,
I've got no clue about what you're talking about right now. Like so
but I've given them a gist, so they do know
they're
more.
gonna ask definitely gonna ask lots of questions and I'm not ready to answer. One thing is making YouTube video and another thing is being there to answer their questions. And
Yeah,
then
I don't
I'm
say anything really. Whenever there is a comment, I get a notification, and I try to respond it as soon as I can. Of course, if I am in working, I won't.
When
And
was the last time you made a YouTube video, Sasha? That's January.
in a
I
while,
think
absolutely.
there was no. I think that was the last video you made.
My YouTube is all over. I am not really sticking to one thing either. It's random videos. You'll see me dancing. You'll see me talking about my experience and maybe speaking professionally about you with you today. So this is human. People can stick to one topic, but all of us have so many things. We are just not one. We have multi-talented talents in us, and
So today I've come today to awaken the YouTube video. Sorry, the YouTube strength you have in you. You have to start doing loads. You have loads of information to give out there.
yeah.
You get choke. You're gonna get choke if you don't let it out, please.
I know. I think it just, yeah, it helps when I speak to others. Alone, when I'm sitting, it's just not, yeah, it doesn't come out, because then, when you're talking with someone, you have
Yeah,
this chain of communication that you build up on. And I wouldn't have come to CTA and TTA topic if I wasn't speaking with you today. If I was just speaking about,
exactly.
about one topic, I would have been really specific, because my brain filters will just filter out all that information and will only talk about what I thought about talking. So, yeah, today has been an absolute amazing day.
All right, it was nice having you around. It was nice. So I don't think there's any other thing regarding this new process I still have to tell them. So, but I'm just gonna mention that when you get an acceptance letter from the institution, the next step is to start your registration with using the portal in the description. Then you are required to do two things in this portal. One is to upload your document, definitely make your registration payment, and the other to submit application for first level temporary nurse program that lasts for 24 months. It's just like the same thing I did, temporary nurse, but mine was 1 year, but
Hmm.
the new changes for 2 years. I'm sure they must have seen that people come to their country and do this for 1 year and run away to UK. So now it's 24 months. You ain't going anywhere.
They
So
are getting strict on their retention policy, probably.
Exactly, exactly. So I think that would be all for today. Then for Nigerians, it's not very easy. I understand because especially when it comes to you processing your visa. During my own time, I was able to find out that the TLS contact, don't know if TLS
So,
contact is
yeah,
even in London.
I
So
did.
that you have in Nigeria can be able they are able to take up your visa wherever to
I personally hate them, but yeah, that's fine.
yeah, it's
They just take forever and they
very good.
demand for even if you sneeze, if
So
you
one of the challenge I had,
reading higher, then they'll take money from you. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah, one of the challenge I had during my own time was the fact that the Council of Nurses and Midwife Malta, they gave me an acceptance. Oh, they didn't give me an acceptance letter. They
Hmm.
sent a plain message to me on on
For paper saying your license is blah blah.
yeah, to
Yeah,
my mail.
ever.
That was what they did.
That
So
got it
trying
in
to
my
process,
mail. Yeah.
yeah, trying to process a visa using a mail paper without a
So
signatory.
there wasn't an official.
There was it wasn't official. It wasn't official.
No.
Yes. So that was that was actually what affected me. So bringing these two three has actually helped a lot of people in as much as you're gonna pay a lot, but it's just going to be more organized. You're going to have your acceptance offer definitely in, do you understand, the offer of admission, you're gonna have it from them after paying your application fee and submitting the necessary documents.
Mhm.
And also these institutions, they have international teams that are there to help you with your visa, your accommodation. Like me, lot of one of the challenges I faced was accommodation, my visa.
You
Oh,
get given the country is really small and densely populated,
exactly.
come across so many scams, and you tend to just believe it, thinking, "I hope I'm not getting into scam now because
Mm.
this is my last hope. Otherwise, I'll have to maybe sleep on the street or something."
Yeah.
Can't
Yes,
afford hotel or Airbnb. You can just you try, but yeah, you have to
yeah.
really be.
So having this institution has actually helped you don't need to think about a lot of things. They have international teams that will take it up from you once you make your payment.
It's
They
wrong
keep
from there. That's good.
they tell you, they make provisions for your accommodation. They tell you when to make some payment. You're safe. So that's what this is all about. It was nice having you around on my God. Thank you so much for the time.
Well,
We're going to talk today.
people who are watching us today, I can't see them, but thank you for watching us throughout this long
Thank
discussion. We highly appreciate your time. Please,
It's more like a personal conversation.
in the comments, so I can at least see who have watched us, because I
Yeah,
can't see the people now. Neither can I. I think click on it. Only way I can know is the comments. So I'll know it later if you do that. And thank you, Lami.
yeah.
Do
Please, you
you
guys,
get called
any question
name,
regarding
or how do you get called?
CIT, please ask him. Don't ask me. Don't come for me. JCI, don't come for me. Go.
I was asking you how you get called, Lume or Jaffe? How do you
Lumi Jaffe.
Lume Jaffe? So do you have
Yeah.
one name, or everyone has to call you Lume Jaffe?
Actually, Lumi
Lume.
is I don't know. I don't. That's not an official name. I must say
Okay.
it's never an official name. Like I said before, my name
Call
is Oloma. It's
Lume.
Lumi.
Okay.
That's where the Lumi came from. Then my last name is Japheth.
Yeah,
That's where the Jaffe came from. It's not like there's nothing official about the name. All right,
I was.
but most people in this country call me Oli. Yes, they can't bear.
People have traveled with us, I think, from Hungary to Malta, from UK to Ireland, and from New Zealand to Australia. We
That was
touched on Nigeria and a little bit on Pakistan side, but not so much. Maybe we'll
yeah,
do all of it in the next episode. Maybe we'll speak about Canada and US. They have
yeah.
a an agreement, I think called TN agreement.
For America, Canada, once more. I don't know. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
being.
and all the best, and keep making all these videos. It was a
I
pleasure speaking to you.
I will continue. It's not easy to be in this country and be doing some of that thing
All the
altogether.
very best.
Take care of yourself. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.